messages for programmers to keep ahead technically and non-technically. So I think you have to be connected in the outside world, and there's a lot of tools that can do. People are in. I'm not talking about Facebook now. Okay, Facebook connects you in a sort of a different way, but things like LinkedIn, things like in job profile news and stuff like that. And I sort of register for a lot of societies. So whether it's in middleware, whether it was in computing, hybrid computing, different types of Wi-Fi. So I register for a lot of these things, and I got a lot of papers sent to me. And because I can speed read, I absorb a lot of them, and I can go, that's a very interesting topic to get into. Farm cell technology is one thing that's probably going to be pretty important later on. So I read all this stuff, and I think, well, in this company I'm in, I know that this area is going to be a mushrooming area. It's a place I'd want to go and get into, and I make sure I become proficient in it. I don't think enough people actually enter for enough bodies. I don't think they go to enough external sort of functions. They don't do enough seminars. I don't know if any people, even in Virtusa right now, go to a lot of external, functions. Whether it's the latest technology on Mule, or whether they go to the Java 1 conferences, or whether they go to the Spring conferences, or whatever their sort of areas. I don't think they go to enough of them. And I think without that, you lose a lot of networking and a lot of connectivity. Yeah. And without that, you haven't the ability to absorb it all. You need to have people coming to you and you connecting to them. So for that thing about a program to keep ahead, I think it needs to be connected from a technical perspective. Business-wise, I'm not sure if anybody reads the Financial Times or spends a lot of time looking at it, how share prices are doing, or what's the world happening in the world, whether the third world countries are coming up, or whether the African countries have got minerals, or whether there's an area you can do. So I think in a financial institution, it's about actually understanding, well, where would I invest my money? Would I invest in property? Everybody says buy property. Well, my goodness, people who bought property over the last 10 years had a problem. So, but there's different things you get into. So I think also you need a business acumen, because not everybody will program for the rest of their life. Okay, some people have been fortunate enough to do it, but you then get moved into a business context, and you have to understand business cases. You have to understand the value of what is worth doing. It's not just building a piece of software. It's about, does it bring benefit? Does it actually bring the benefit it's supposed to bring? So I think looking at business contexts, I think also you need to have the teams looking at, a bit of. I think people doing MBAs. I think you've done an MBA, and others have. I think in a way that opens the mind to case studies, scenarios, what goes on in the world, rather than I just came in and wrote a piece of Java code for project WMS2. What's the big picture? When I went to Chennai, I went to India on the last visit. The big picture, a lot of people were missing offshore, and I think that's one of the great things that is missing, that we don't give people. Unfortunately, we don't travel as much out, and when you travel in, it's more into a confined, do this piece of work and leave, but you don't understand what's this all about. How much does it cost to run this operation? How many call centres have we got? Why are we building this thing? Why am I building this thing? Who wants it? What does it cost to run it?
So people need to have a bigger knowledge of what they're doing exactly.
Correct, and I don't know whether anybody shares that at the leadership team level in the projects in Virtusa with the team, and then it's dispersed down the way about, well, what's this big thing? What's it all about? It's not about, obviously it's finance at the end of the day, about bringing enough money in the bottom line, the share price. But do you know what WMS2 is truly all about? What is it all about? I'm working in the services area, I'm working in the database area. What's it all about? And I don't know whether enough of that goes on. But when I went to Chennai and we had a room, we had a lot of people in the room, it was amazing for them to see, I think Farah, you did a demo of what does the legacy system do? What does the new system do? Well, no. What are we selling? Why are we selling it? Who's buying it? Who are these people? When they pick up the phone, actually they bought something off us through a system that we delivered. Doesn't work, it's slow, usable, it can't find anything, appointments go missing. That's when you realise, I'd be the other end of that. I got a service that didn't work, cost me too much money, person sold me something I wasn't wanting. And I think the big picture's missing, and I think you need that, because it'll help you in the team building, it'll help you in collaboration, it'll help you understand what the way you're going,
Yes.
what part of this big coin. If you ever watched the Charlie Chaplin movie, you know, the big wheel, he was only a little cog in a wheel, but he had to be part of the big wheel.
Yes, exactly.
But you need to know what the big wheel is.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.